Yo, Haven, what's good? What's good? It is my intention that all is well with you guys. You are having a wonderful, magnificent rotation, and you are in a wonderful, magnificent mood. If you're not in a wonderful, magnificent mood, hopefully you will be by the end of this presentation. Yo, Haven, what's good? I know I ain't been up here on the camera lately. You know what I mean? I've been doing other things, investing my energy into other things as well, rather than just sitting around. Anyhow, how are you guys doing? I miss you guys. Hope all is well. You guys know I don't you guys know I don't celebrate holidays, so this is why I am live a rotation ahead of time, because I know you guys will be busy with your families doing things of that nature. So this is why I'm live. Next rotation I'll be doing a regular upload, and that's that. So with that being said, let's move forward. Full disclaimer, this video is for entertainment purposes only, and yeah, everything you see on this channel is merely speculation. Viewer discretion is advised. Please do your own homework and research for proper discernment. Remember, we watch these clips and videos as a form of escaping the external chaos going on outside of ourselves, since we are all experiencing our own individual realities. Remember, you don't got to be here, you choose to. Leave it on the ground if it don't resonate. Someone else will pick it up. Just chill, relax, bro. It's okay. It's not that deep. Relax. You know what I'm saying? Anyhow, other than that, I'm highly grateful, and thankful for all you guys who've been here from the beginning, rocking out, liking, commenting, sharing, been subscribed, supporting the channel, things of that nature, doing this energetic exchange that we do on the regular, on the usual. Thank you so much. Y'all know what's up. Thank you so much. Thank you for your presence. Anyone and everyone who has ever sown to see me will be returned 100-fold as the Most High uses you as the divine vessel to finally support yours too. Because it's all about divine support. I just want to say grace, gratitude, thanks, peace, and prosperity, you and yours, as well as abundance. Hope you know it never goes unnoticed. Really does help the channel, the foundation, my well-being. Thank you so much. If you celebrate holidays and you're doing family activities, you already know what's up. Enjoy, be safe, do everything you're doing responsibly. Now, I want to tell y'all something. So I was speaking with someone, and they challenged me in a way. Let's just put it in that way. I'm not going to go into detail and things of that nature, but long story short, I was talking about, I want to get back into drawing. Like, lately, I've been feeling like drawing lately. And they was like, oh, yeah, let's see what you could do. I want to see some. Let me see some within some amount of time, They gave me a time window, and I completed it right after we was talking. So therefore, I'm gonna show you that. The sky, I got some nice pictures of the sky, and we're gonna move forward. So with that being said, buckle up, enjoy the ride, enjoy the vibe. Let's get it, family. One by one. Let's do it. Check this out. Check this out, family. How y'all like that? So this is a guy with a rope tied to a tree, and he's holding on to a tree stump, like really a tree stump. I'm saying like half a tree. And he's leaning over the ledge, reaching down for someone in the water, asking for help. You see the hand reaching out? A little something. I freestyled. I ain't think of it. I just start drawing, and I did that. You know what I'm saying? So I put in the work, Haven. You know what I'm saying? Look, don't judge me. I ain't drawing some years. I really put some effort into this. You know what I'm saying? I probably could have put a little more into it, but I put some effort into this. And I ain't drawing years. So this is what I came up with. What y'all think? Check this out. You know what I'm saying? We got more. Hold on. We got more. We got more. That's it. Just a different, same angle, just a different picture. A little closer, things like that. You can't see the tree stump, things like that. But yeah. The logo on his back is a sigil. I think it's nice. Stripe on his pants. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to get too detailed with the face and stuff, so I'm like, yo, let me just, what y'all think, man? I think this is pretty decent for not drawing. I haven't drew a picture, an illustration in years, family. So that's that. Let's move forward to the pictures of the sky and things like that. Look at this. That's beautiful. Check it out. Don't look a little. You see the colors? I don't be lying. You see the colors? You see what's going on? Check it out. Check it out. There was the moon that same night, that same very time. I zoomed in, and that was the moon that night. It was there. You know what I'm saying? That same, in that same moment, I'm like, oh, look at the moon. Let me zoom in. And the moon came up like that. You can't see the moon in the pictures. But I had to zoom in and get the moon. And that's what came up. And we got this final picture. Oh, look, there you go right there. Look. If you see at the top left, there go the moon right here. If you see the mouse cursor, top left, there go the moon right there. This is a beautiful setting. This is nice. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you guys think. Yo, DJ, what's good? What's good? What's good? You need a logo? I think I got to work on my craft a little more. But if you think it's good, thank you so much. Thank you. Kindly. Gratitude, actually. That being said, let's move forward into the clips and the footage, y'all. Let's do it.
What we're seeing right now in real time is the contract, the Destiny Work contract that they signed to essentially steal co-op and pillage this world for its resources, its culture, its spiritual elevation. The contract is running out. That's why they acted up. I don't know how long that contract was to be for. The Hebrew Israelites talking about it's 400 years. I think, honestly, that contract was only going to last as long as black people were going to be asleep. If you haven't noticed, there has been an overwhelming exodus out of the church, okay? This isn't to say that some of y'all not going to church, okay? But there's an overwhelming exodus of black people leaving the church, as well as there is an overwhelming amount of white folks who are starting to understand the truth of what's going on. Stolen Legacy academically explains it best. That destiny swap that they did with us, it was to obtain the knowledge that it took Africans thousands of years to evolve to. There are just certain things spiritually that they just could not understand. And they were up. And here's the thing, just like right now, when are afraid, when they don't understand something, rather than sit the fuck down and calm down, they get violent. And that's exactly what they did. When they were kicked out of Egypt multiple times before y'all famous little Plato and Socrates motherfuckers came into Africa, y'all was kicked out because you were spiritually immature. You were spiritually immature. Mind you, the issue that the Africans had with y'all back then was not because of race. It was because you were so spiritually immature. If you didn't understand something, you immediately resort to violence. And here you are today, 1,000+ years later, you don't understand something, and you resort to violence. The destiny swap that you've done on black folk has run its course, okay? Black people in this country resting, that right there, we are taking our own shit back. We're taking our own spirituality back. Us resting is us intentionally breaking the generational curses. We are not waiting for no savior to come and save us. That is what y'all try to lie to us, to keep us in this cycle, to keep us confeeding the destiny swap that you sign off on us. And now black people are no longer going to participate in the fuckery that y'all have installed. And now the chaos that you've created, the lies, the matrix that you've created is crumbling. And here's the thing. What scares me about y'all is that you know this is happening. Your spirit is telling you that this is happening. That's why you're upset that black people are not protesting with y'all. We're not communicating with y'all. We're not doing none of those things because you are understanding who we really are. And we are coming to understand who we really are. We are breaking our own generational curses, and y'all are not ready for that. And what I advise my black family, continue to evolve. There's a spiritual elevation that we're all taking part in. Just rest. Just rest. Stay in your home. Love on your family. Plant your gardens. You know, do your thing and rest. The Destiny Swap contract has run its course. Everything's gonna be okay.
Oh, big beautiful bill. Everybody been asking me my perspective on it. And as y'all know, I'm an honest guy. I haven't spoken on it because I started to read it and realized that shit is like a Harry Potter book. So everyone out here talking about it didn't even read the bill. I promise you, they didn't. So all they're really doing is fear mongering and listening to what the opposite side is talking about it on the news. Just bringing up all the negatives. But I will say there's a few things I did see. But of course, I said I'm nowhere near finishing the whole bill because, like I said, it's a Harry Potter book, and it's probably gonna take me a minimum of 2 to 3 months to read it all. Because I'm talking about they got chapter after chapter, and then within the chapters, they have like hyperlinks, bruh, that opens up to a whole nother chapter. But one good thing I did see from at least the parts that I did try to read was a chapter called Families Over the Elites. And that alone should tell you why a lot of people in the quote-unquote legal system has been trying to prevent it from passing. Because it clearly states how they're taking power away from the elites and placing it into families. Like literally, that's what the whole thing really is about. And restructuring the system on how the way it should have been, like I've been explaining this whole time. So at the end of the day, it can't be nothing negative coming from it. Because look around right now, everything is negative, bro. Wake up and want to change. And stop begging for your own demise. This shit is crazy. But yeah, like I said, anyone you hear talking about that big beautiful bill, they're just fear mongering, bro. They didn't read shit. Anyways, quick rant. Y'all know how I keep it. Y'all be gods. Peace.
When I say he got a point, I'm talking about like look at everything outside of the righteousness. You feel me? Like it's a lot of people in their lower, you feel me? In their lower nature. A lot of people indulging in negativity, no good things. You know what I'm saying? It sucks. And it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's a lot, but you got to keep going forward. Interesting. Interesting. And you know what's funny, DJ? That same mailman guy, the mail guy dude, he spoke on that before along the lines of what you're saying. Let's keep going. Let's get it.
The U.S. may be going to war after all, huh? Everybody was laughing, ha ha, hee hee, ha ha, a week ago. But then when Israel bombed Iran, everybody was like, that smile turned to a frown. Because when that happened, people already started assuming U.S. might be involved. But people didn't know. But now, people know. Because Trump just put out some statements. And y'all tell me what the hell you think he meant by this. He goes, America first means many great things, including the fact that Iran cannot have nuclear weapons. Make America great again. Then he said Iran should have signed the deal. I told them to sign. What a shame and what a waste of human life. Simply stated, Iran cannot have nuclear weapons. I said it over and over again. Everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran. So the people in Tehran did exactly what Donald Trump said. They started evacuating, y'all. Look at this shit. Look at the line. It goes all the way around.
Causing panic.
This shit crazy, fool. Because they know some shit about to pop off. This is wild, fool. China also advised citizens to leave Israel as soon as possible, y'all. This is wild. He said all sides have informed their backers. World War III officially begins tonight. What?
That's exactly why these corona mass ejections are going to be taking place. There's going to be another lockdown that's going to take place. What they're not telling you guys is the sun is fighting back. Nature is fighting back. Why do you guys think the sun is getting hotter? Right. They'll never tell you, right? You know, but you keep thinking I'm crazy. But the sun is getting hotter. It's raising in degrees because an ascension process is taking place. And that's why, thus, your days are going faster. People feel like their days are going faster. Yes, okay. So, yes, they're going faster because of the times we're in. And nature is fighting back versus the negative current of energy versus the positive current of energy. And I'm saying that in terms as good and bad. And what's going on is they're orchestrating these events. They're trying to override the solar storms or what they call the Schumann resonance rising on the planet. When it comes to the sun's ultraviolet rays are coming and it's affecting people. It's actually causing for certain DNA activation. This is actually scientific stuff. You need to go search it up.
Facts.
So,
facts. I like the young brother here, because if you sun gaze enough, you can literally see the sun pulsating frequency wave. You can literally see it.
it's allowing for people to be more awakening because we've entered the sun cycle and we entered the Aquarian age, okay, where all things will be revealed, and the sun comes with the light, with the revealing of a thing, because we were under the moon cycle for those 6,000 years until the year 2000, where the 6,000 year period was up. Okay, now we're in the year 6025, as you know, as 2025. It's about to end.
What is this 12-strand DNA?
Yeah, I need to find him. I'm gonna see what's good, Haven. I like him. I ain't gonna lie, I like him. Cause he ain't lying. He ain't lying. Anyhow, let's get it.
That they talk about that's becoming active right now, and y'all gifts coming online, y'all spiritual gifts that y'all been had is being activated, right? Because the sun give off what? Heat, right? In your skin, your melanin is electricity conductor. So when that sun in the sky get hot, you feel me, as it's heating up now, the heat waves and all of that start activating your 12-strand DNA. Beautiful. And some of y'all start saying, I didn't know I could do these things, because your DNA that you didn't know you have is starting to get acclimated. These things have never happened before. So y'all gonna see people online and doing things that they never did before, because that's 12-strand DNA getting activated. Because the sun is like, it's giving off heat. And the more heat, the more radiation, the more plasma it give off, the more it activates your DNA. That's why they wanted to do certain shit to y'all and target y'all, because they know who y'all is. Y'all DNA was going to become activated. Because they study y'all, but y'all don't study thyself. The whole time they knew who y'all were. They was just counting that y'all didn't find out who y'all were. And these groups study y'all. That's why a lot of things is go against y'all, like the prison, or go against us, I should say, the prison system, redlining, the housing, the credit is to go against us, because if we ever found out who we was, it would be game over. They knew the whole time. They was just banking on we didn't find out who we was. So that sun, which is why they tried to block that out, is activating y'all DNA with the 12 strands, you feel me? That y'all didn't know y'all have. But the gods knew y'all had it. That's another gift for the gods, is the 12-strand DNA.
This marry before you carry dumbass shit I keep seeing is like almost starting to become a cult. Y'all, understand that you should not marry anyone until you know that you can grow with this person for, till you evolve. Y'all can evolve actually together. How about that? Because a lot of people get married young for all the wrong reasons. You get what I'm saying? And understand that a contract marriage is automatically linking you to Satan, Saturn, right? The ring around the finger is symbolic for the ring around Saturn. Saturn is linked to Satan. Satan is literally within you, because you know you are your God and you are your devil, right? But it's linking you to your lower self, your root chakra. Why y'all think it's the end times and they keep trying to push everybody to get the contract marriage? When we know, according to all ancient texts, even your Bible, right? All y'all Christians keep wanting to get married. Y'all don't even know the fucking Bible. According to your Bible, Christian, the true marriage is when holy matrimony is when a man and a woman come together and have sex, and that's your motherfucking husband. The real motherfucking ring is the pussy. Yeah. Okay, y'all so deep in the illusion over this false system that was not created for us. It was created for the oppressors, the Caucasians, right? Y'all so deep into this false ass system that was here to trap us and keep us in our lower self, that y'all still in 2025 going to get contract marriages. Stupid as shit. Stupid shit. I'm all down for the marriages, having a ceremony, having a wedding. Beautiful. Do it. It's a ritual. Do it. But once you go and sign that contract papers, why the fuck you think you gotta go in front of a fucking judge to make your motherfucking marriage legit? Who the fuck is this judge to
you? Y'all love her energy, by the way.
you? Right? This the same judge that'll get one of your brothers or sisters or get you locked up. This system was not created for us to evolve. Right? So if they keep pushing this, marry before you carry, marry before you carry, they're trying to link us all to some satanic, demonic ritual and keep us trapped in the 3D. The marry before you carry has become a cult because they're trying to trap people in some lower frequency shit. I literally had a fucking download about this, bro. Like, and the spirit keeps saying, bro, get on their ass about this. I just seen 222. Spirit keeps saying that because they're trying to link us. They're trying to trap us in the matrix every time they marry before you carry bullshit. How many people we know that marry before they carry still end up with divorce with a single mom or single dad? My parents was married when they had me. Are they married now? No. Like, what the fuck? Like, this is common sense. Marry somebody because they are for you. They can help you evolve. They can help you grow. Not because they have a fat ass. Not because they have some money. Not because they have a nice body. Not because they're pretty. Because anything in the physical could be gone. But the spirit and the soul shall remain. Marry people for pure intentions. Become pure within your mind, body, heart, and soul, or suffer for eternity.
That herb that you see the deity boo.
She said that well, because, like, I ain't gonna say nothing because it's a really personal. Remember, I told you my transparency is down to 10%. So, but I got something personal going on with someone, and yeah, I like what was said there, especially towards the end. That was nice. Anyhow, let's get it, man. Let's get it, man.
The holding is Herataki, okay? And it's phenomenal for decalcifying as well as activating the pineal gland. Herataki is actually one of the first herbs that set me on a course for things like astral projection as well as lucid dreaming. The customers that purchased the Herataki I have available on Holistic Remedies have reported some pretty peculiar experiences, all right? And some even stated that they had lucid dreams immediately. Once I started utilizing the Herataki, one of the first things I noticed is that it allowed me to see auras. All right, you would literally see the aura emanating off of a person. You can tell whether a person is vibrating in a low frequency or a high frequency based off the biofield, based off the color that emanates off of their aura. Through rigorous study, it's actually been stated that Herataki extracts may also act as a potential therapeutic option against viruses like COVID-19, all right, because it eradicates bad microbiome in the gut, all right, and stabilizes the gut flora. Always remember, your stomach is another brain, all right? So once you detox the body and cleanse the system, at that point, you begin to notice a lot more dreams, a lot more astral projection experiences, as well as OBEs. I do have the Herataki powder as well as the capsules available on Holistic Remedies, link in bio. Now, one thing I want to tell you is that with us being in a great awakening, literally, it's going to be a situation where you're going to notice individuals not be able to see things that you can see, all right? Ships, UFOs, entities, shadow apparitions. Literally, you can be standing right next to someone. You can see a ship. They can actually come in your proximity, and you can say, hey, do you see that? They may not be able to see it due to having a calcified pineal gland. Scientists have found piezoelectric microcrystals inside the pineal gland cosmic family. They're called magnetites, dendrites, and calcites, all right? And this is what they're covered and blocked with things like fluoride, electromagnetic frequencies, and genetically modified organisms, all right? This is because it's your cosmic antenna to higher dimensions, all right, which is right inside our head. What most don't know is that when they spray chemtrails, the aluminum and barium, when mixed, becomes a receiver, all right? And your pineal gland is the ultimate receiver. So what their objective is to basically divert your pineal gland's ability to receive and transmit messages from the ionosphere by way of the chemtrails. Utilization of herbs like Herataki will begin to decalcify as well as activate the pineal gland to pretty much combat a lot of the nefarious attacks and machinations that these deletes utilize to pretty much keep us from ascending to Christ consciousness. For all high quality herbs and metaphysical products for spiritual elevation, click the link in my bio and visit Holistic Remedies, your extension to ascension.
So if y'all watch these videos, y'all watching the corporation fall, the United States Corporation, that's Babylon, the Social Security, the birth certificate. But the land, Trump is trying to get the land back to the indigenous who the land belonged to. That's why certain monuments in America emulate ancient Egypt, like they built it. So if y'all watch these videos, y'all watching the corporation fall, the United States Corporation, that's Babylon, the Social Security, the birth certificate. But the land, Trump is trying to get the land back to the indigenous who the land belonged to. That's why certain monuments in America emulate ancient Egypt, like they built it. So if y'all watch these videos, y'all watching the...
That's that screen recording, y'all. I highly dislike when I be having to screen record. I ain't gonna lie.
Indigenous who the land belonged to. That's why certain monuments in America emulate ancient Egypt, like they built.
We are living in a peri-tyrannical situation where there's only 2 clicks left when you are required to have digital ID to move around and have a life, and when cashless central bank digital currencies are the only way you can buy and sell. At that point, you've lost your freedom. If you follow the breadcrumbs to 2030, anyone can look up the UN 2030 SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. By 2030, Britain specifically will have no commercial passenger aircraft leaving the country. You will not be able to leave. There will be no ships leaving the country. You will not own private transport. You will have a digital ID to do everything, and you will only have electronic money with which to transact. I would say at that point you are a slave, and because you can see them coming, you should say no. Say no right now. Stop. The things that are happening are really fantastic, but they go back decades. There's no question that there's been a very long run-up to the level of control that we are going to face if we allow cash to be winked out of existence.
Hey y'all, pause what you're doing right now, because I need y'all to tell me, what the heck is this? What is this? Do not tell me this is normal. Do not say this is a shelf cloud. Don't tell me this is a roll cloud or whatever they're trying to call it, y'all. This is not normal, y'all. Never in my life have we ever seen anything like this, y'all. Why does this thing look like a cosmic steamroller, y'all? What is this about? And how is this possible? Look at this, y'all. Here's another angle of it manifesting out of the ocean. It's literally coming out of the ocean, y'all. So when they told us that the ocean is space, it really is space, because look at this, y'all. And now, y'all, ain't no way. Y'all just seen that thing literally come out of the ocean. Remember a few months ago, all the UFOs and the UAPs that were coming out of the ocean, and this thing just came out of the ocean? Look how monumentous this thing is. Is that even a word? I just made it up today, because this is, what is this? Look at that. Oh my goodness, y'all. What an amazing time to be alive. This is crazy. Look at the way this thing is rolling in, y'all. Look at this. This is why they can't predict the weather anymore, y'all. These things do whatever they want. They roll in whenever they want, y'all. There is absolutely nothing normal about this. This is some Elemental movie type stuff, y'all. Remember in the movie Elemental, the clouds were literally walking on Earth? This is exactly what's happening right now, y'all. This thing literally came out of the ocean, and now it's coming onto Earth. If this right here don't make you question what world we're living in, and we're in another universe right now, or parallel reality, y'all, then I don't know what is this, because look at this. Bro, look at that. Look at these, look at the way it's rolling these strands within it. But yes, y'all, this was in Portugal, y'all. But let me know what you guys think about this video. Like, follow, and share for more videos like this. Let's get the shift.
Earth is just a big old video game. You picked the day you was born, bro. So later in your self-discovery, you can figure out what the fuck is your energies. For example, I was born on the 12th. I picked that day. Why did I pick that day? Because 12th means entertainer and healer. Ain't that what the fuck I'm is, bitch? You was born on the 12th, like myself. You reincarnated to break cycles through laughter, through music, through art, through self-expression. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. But you a healer. This just shit you figure out on the path of self-discovery as you tap more and more into your spirit. I can tell you about what your day mean too. I got a PDF mini ebook on all the days, on everybody's shit. You will know why you reincarnated, and you gonna know because it sounds exactly like your ass. Just cash at me, bro. It's only $9. I'll send it to your email right now. If you're on the path of self-discovery, this is where you need to start.
Yo, so I don't know if you heard this yet, but Vegas is not okay. So yesterday, boom, it hit 115, right? And then out of nowhere, this dust storm manifested like Vegas was part of ancient Egypt. People are talking about this wind was howling and they saw faces within the dust storm. You can see these things flying around, y'all. Now, out of all of this came this, you guys. There are trees and power lines down all over in Vegas. And this thing goes for miles, y'all. Every power line is literally on the street. And what I find peculiar is how these things are snapped at the base, y'all. How? How did this dust storm snap these things at the base? You would think it's the power lines that would get snapped, right? But at the base, what is this?
We are on Tropicana in front of the Walmart. Every last one of the light poles, the electricity poles are down. This goes for miles. We ain't got no power. I don't know what the hell is going on. This goes for miles, y'all. Look at the cords on the ground.
And she stated it's in front of a Walmart. Why are things always happening in front of a Walmart, y'all? What is going on with Walmart? These Walmarts must be sitting on some crazy type of ley line energy, y'all, in order for things to be manifesting at Walmarts like this. Y'all, this was happening in real time. So there were cars that were driving by that the poles were literally falling on top of them. Y'all see this, right? This is crazy. I'm trying to figure out how does a dust storm do this, and it specifically goes for the power lines, y'all? For the power lines? Y'all, I believe there's truly something more ominous at play than this, y'all. There's something bigger. There's a bigger energy that's here, and y'all can feel it. But yes, y'all, this is crazy in Vegas. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Like, follow, and share for more videos like this. The shift is here. Let's get it. Peace out.
They really built the prison in the swamp, y'all. Surrounded by fucking gators. This is crazy. I feel like this is modern day slavery. They really said, forget about the fences. We about to have the gators being the officers. They real life got human beings in the Everglades like this is Jurassic Park. I don't really care how they try to package it up, but this is modern day slavery at its finest. They not just gonna be dealing with gators, y'all. You got pythons, you got the heat, you got the mosquitoes, you got a whole concoction. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. This is fucked up. Because if this was you or your family in here, would you like it? Would you want to be there? This ain't even about border control, y'all. This is about fear, about control. Y'all, look at the inside of it. That joint don't look like it got no AC, nothing. They probably gonna be hot as hell in there.
Let a gator get in there.
This shit crazy, y'all. It real live look like a concentration camp. Am I tripping?
It was like name, but beware. Do not allow your children to watch that program. Blessings.
Every time something important take place in the world, what do? Give us distractions. Sean Diddy Combs acquitted of most serious charges. Now, I guarantee the whole damn internet is going to be speaking about Puff and Bad Boys. Cassie as well. I want people to know that all this shit is just a distraction. We are being controlled by puppets that's being controlled by more puppets. I found it real weird that Puff is acquitted on serious charges the same day, the same damn day where they passed the big, beautiful bill. So I have a question. What's more important, Puff and Cassie, or the one big, beautiful bill?
You know the answer to
Let me think about this. We have entertainment, and we have shit that really means something. Did you know that they're cutting damn near everything? All you have to do is go and do your research, and you will understand why this is really important. Distractions, confusion, and the American dream. Give them bread and circuses, and they will never revolt. Let me repeat that. If you give them bread and a circus, they will never Revolt. Can't forget to mention that Puff did own a company called Revolt. I believe he sold it in 2024, which is number 8. The problem with the people was this. They don't understand what's important. They think entertainment is everything. It's nothing but a distraction. The elites will take everything away from us, and we will celebrate.
Look, I want to show you something. Did you know that when the human body is hungry, it actually eats itself? Okay. It does a cleansing process, removing all sick cells, cancer cells, aging cells, as well as Alzheimer's. This is why I heavily recommend fasting, okay, and why intermittent fasting is very important. One of the things that we tend to overwork is our digestive system. We tend to overconsume food. All right, they told us we need 3 meals a day, but that's actually false. One of the biggest misconceptions is when your stomach growls, you're hungry. All right, that's actually false. When your stomach is growling, what's actually happening is bad microbiome is being eradicated. Most people that's on a weight loss journey have a very difficult time giving up certain foods, okay? And this is attributed to parasitic organisms that typically send neurological responses, okay, for cravings. One thing that I wholeheartedly recommend is doing a heavy metal detox as well as a parasite cleanse. Now, sweet wormwood, black walnut, and whole cloves are the best 3 components for not only killing parasites, but also eradicating their eggs. While doing a parasite cleanse, I recommend utilizing it in conjunction with chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the best component for detoxing the body, all right? And it will remove toxic metals such as lead, cadmium, mercury, and aluminum, okay? Because typically the parasites like to hide behind the toxic metals. They're very intelligent. If you're familiar with my videos, you know that I stress the fact that parasites are actually demons. They're very closely related to archonic forces and the way they have the ability of actually hijacking their hosts, okay? Archons can manipulate their hosts, and so do parasitic invaders. They have the ability of sending neurological responses to say, hey, eat those Oreos, eat that honey bun, eat those Takis, etc., etc. This is why it's very important that you give up the processed food. Believe it or not, most processed food have manufactured parasitic organisms. They're literally manufactured with the parasites already in them. There are several videos of people placing Doritos as well as things like Oreos on high-powered microscopes. And when they zoom in, they can see the bugs crawling all over the surface of the food. The way this works is once you eat that food, it then gets in your colon, and those small parasites you've seen crawling then begin to accumulate in size. Once they accumulate in size, they then send neurological responses telling you to crave more of that same food that you consumed to begin with. Now, the genetically modified organisms are designed to hijack and alter your genetic sequence, okay? Because they know that you're a Superman. They know that you're Thor. They know that you're Wonder Woman. They know that you're extremely powerful. So these deletes' objective is to alter your genetic sequence through genetic modified organisms. The reason they do that is because the sun is rapidly transforming you on a cosmic level. Every nanosecond, you're upgrading. For all high quality herbs and metaphysical products for spiritual elevation, click the link in my bio and visit Holistic Remedies, your extension to ascension. Your DNA is being activated on a celestial level, all right? And one of the reasons why they're actually placing a gold dome over America, and another reason why they're blanketing the sky with so many chemtrails, all right, to pretty much coat the ionosphere, is because you're receiving more downloads than ever. Neutrinos are passing through your cosmic body at the speed of light, which is 186,000 miles per second. And when your melanin interacts with these neutrinos, it goes from a semiconductor to a superconductor. When you utilize things like chlorophyll, it helps you to transmute that cosmic light better. Chlorophyll is the substance responsible for giving plants its green pigment, and it's the best for detoxing the body, all right, and removing toxic metals such as lead, cadmium, mercury, and aluminum from the blood. See, what they don't want you to know is that in ancient times, we were photosyntheans and had the ability of absorbing gamma ray radiation and converting it to chemical energy. I do have the liquid chlorophyll available on Holistic Remedies, link in bio. Not only are we being upgraded, but the planet as a whole is being upgraded, all right? The chakras on the earth is being upgraded. The meridian pathways on the earth is being upgraded, all right? So it's important right now that you're grounding, that you're actually going outside of nature and plugging in with the planet. Just grounding alone eradicates free radicals in the body. This is one of the reasons they put rubber on the bottom of your shoes and utilize certain fabrics to deplete your electron count, all right? This is purposely done because you're an electromagnetic being. Wearing copper bracelets will also increase your electromagnetic aura field and protect you from radioactive frequencies. One of the reasons why they use the 5G, 6G, and 7G is to actually suppress our telepathy, okay? We're telepathic beings. This whole time we've been suppressed and dumbed down, all right? The more we amplify and broaden our electromagnetic aura field, we begin to tap back into our telepathy. Scientists have found piezoelectric microcrystals inside the pineal gland, okay? Cosmic antenna to higher dimensions is inside our head, all right? This actually makes you telepathic. This gives you the ability to read minds, but the whole time they utilize things like fluoride and chemtrails to block those piezoelectric crystals from amplifying their signal. Ayurvedic herbs like Haritaki decalcify and activate the pineal gland to expose those piezoelectric crystals to begin to actually allow you to rekindle those abilities like clairvoyance, precognition, and telepathy. I do have the Haritaki available on Holistic Remedies, link in bio. It's also important that you detox all of the toxic metals out of your body, all right, such as lead, cadmium, mercury, and aluminum, all right? These toxic metals, they have the ability of sending signals from the 5G, 6G, and 7G to implement certain neural synapses, all right? So some of your thoughts aren't your own, all right? Remember that. Remove the toxic metals and detox your body. Remember, we are a lot more powerful than they want us to know. It's time to reactivate. Peace, love, and light to everyone.
Sometimes you gotta walk alone. Yeah, you chosen one. When you're feeling unhappy, you have to walk alone until you find your purpose. When you feel unsupported, you have to walk alone until you realize you only need yourself. When you're feeling a lack of trust in someone, you must walk alone to see if this person remains loyal. When you're feeling disrespected, you must walk alone until this person gives you value. When you're feeling like you're outgrowing someone, you must walk alone into the next chapter of your life. The spiritual path is never ending. There's always room for growth, and there's always room for setbacks. This is the importance of being present and making conscious decisions. Because some people's goal is to manipulate your subconscious mind, all in order to control you, to walk the path they want you to walk on. So always remember, if you're on a path with many, you are being a follower. But if you're on a path with few, you are a leader. And as we all know, only a few are chosen to be strong enough to walk alone. Anyways, y'all be guys. Peace.
Basically, Disneyland Paris is saying that it's okay for a 22-year-old man to marry a 9-year-old girl. A 22-year-old man was arrested for allegedly attempting to marry a 9-year-old girl in Disneyland Paris. So basically in Disneyland, these people were trying to have a wedding ceremony where a 22-year-old man married a 9-year-old girl. And that whole shit seems strange because how was that even possible? Now, this 22-year-old man, he was arrested. The girl's parent was arrested. And some people involved with this ceremony was arrested. Now, when they were arrested, they basically told the police that they was doing this ceremony for rage bait. Yeah? Basically to troll the internet and have people get upset because a 22-year-old man was marrying a 9-year-old girl. But that's bullshit. And the reason it's bullshit because what 22-year-old man would spend $150,000 to make this shit happen? That's how much he spent to rent Disneyland Paris and make this whole ceremony happen. Mind you, nobody would have never known that this was going on, and these people wouldn't have got in trouble for this shit if it wasn't for employees at Disneyland Paris. So the ceremony is going on, and some of the employees see this shit, and they're like, oh, what the hell is going on? This guy is about to marry a 9-year-old girl. And of course, they called the police. Police came, they locked people up. Now, my only question is, what mother will allow her daughter, 9-year-old daughter, to marry a 22-year-old man? What mother would allow her 9-year-old daughter to joke like she's marrying a 22-year-old man? Then you have to think about this. He spent $150,000 to rent Disneyland to do this.
For a joke? Nah.
What does that tell you?
Right.
Most likely, 9 times out of 10, allegedly, he could have been paying for that girl as well. With all the trafficking that's going on in this world, that doesn't seem weird to you? That doesn't seem like that was about to happen? We are living in a wicked world. Pay attention to your kids and pay attention. Pay attention. I'm out.
Right citizenship. Let me explain to y'all how this is supposed to work, since all these demons coming online, gaslighting people that's trying to do the right thing, meaning they feel as though they're traitors because they don't want to be evil anymore, and that's why they out here self-destructing and trying to take everybody down with them. So check it, the indigenous people of America is not citizens, and it's supposed to be completely free of work and taxes, but we do have a straw man, which is supposed to act as the citizen for us. We control everything as the beneficiary. The straw man itself is the trustee that's linked to your social security number. When you're indigenous to this land, your social security number is linked to your social security trust, and it marks your citizenship. And obviously, birthright citizenship is the highest of all citizenships. To keep it simple, it gives us extra benefits, such as not paying taxes. As we see today, the rich don't pay taxes, kickbacks from the state and government, but as we see, everyone else is getting those benefits through DEI. Also, the automatic ownership of land and property. But also, as we see today, they're stealing everything we have and put into their trust. Now, the lower forms of citizenship basically allows other people from other nations to come to a different nation and live there, to work and pay taxes, to support the country and the indigenous people that live on the land. Essentially, it's like when you come to America to live a better and safer life, it's a privilege, and that's the only benefit you're supposed to get. So to sum up everything I just said, the indigenous people of America is supposed to be the ones living the American dream, stress-free, not working, while all the foreigners that move to America is supposed to be serving us, as in running all the businesses and public services, and that includes the military. We're supposed to be treated like royalty. Everyone else is supposed to be working for us, the real Americans. Obviously, we don't see the system working this way, and it was clearly reversed. And how they did this was becoming the trustee. On the paperwork, they coerced and deceived us to sign. This allows them to sign for us, messing up all our contracts, essentially creating fraud to steal the benefits from the real Americans. So every time we use our social security number, right, it takes our credit out of our trust. Then the security transfer agents, who we think are banks, holds our credit and give us the debt that the Federal Reserve owns, which is the debt notes that says for public and private. This is how they're stealing our money through the public and putting it back in their private trust. So their debt notes is of negative value, meaning we can't ever pay anything off. We are literally paying back the debt that they owe us by using their debt notes. We're using their debt and paying ourselves back. So what the security transfer agents, who we think are banks, are really doing, the credit that they are holding, they give to businesses through loans. And we all know there's actually just people that hide behind these LLCs and corporations. Yeah. So I want y'all to look around and see who owns all these businesses. Mainly people from other nations. This is why it's much easier for them to access our credit. They know through the businesses they can make the profit, which is our stolen credit. Then, like I say, place it into their private trust or send it back to their home countries, draining America, when in all reality the system is supposed to keep the wealth in America. This is how they created oppression, which leads to crime and mental illness. Then the legal system takes full advantage of that, which messes with our freedom and our wealth even more, because they are using the same process. Every time you hear them call out a charge, it means they are charging your sister QV Trust, creating bonds, stealing our credit. This is the exact reason why we're harassed by the police way more than everyone else, because we own all the credit, and it has to be recycled and passed through them in their minds to stay alive. That's why most of the population in prison and jail look just like me. They're using our resources to support everyone else besides us. I said all that to say this. They use birthright citizenship to complete a destiny swap of a whole race of people with our consent unknowingly by signing these contracts or electing corrupt officials. As I said earlier, we're supposed to be treated like royalty, while everyone else is supposed to be treated like the quote-unquote Black Americans. The days of us suffering for everyone else's benefit is over. And by the way, birthright citizenship has to be removed in order for everyone to be registered to their original countries. Y'all may not know it, but there's a type of citizenship called jus sanguinis, meaning right of blood. This allows a person to be a citizen by blood of the parents or grandparents who is already registered as a citizen in a different country than where the child is born in. As in, if your grandparents was born in Germany and is a citizen of Germany because of the blood, and you're born in America, you will still be a German citizen because it's in your blood. And that's how it's only supposed to work. Everything else is just quote-unquote legal, but it's not lawful. So the whole citizenship was designed to keep track of people and their assets. Now when everyone is registered back to their home countries, this is when those Doge checks gonna be sent out. Because as I stated earlier, they've been stealing all of our credit and sending out to the world disguised as DEI, USAID, etc. Y'all seen the trillions that Doge uncovered. So all Trump is doing is reversing the coercion of oppression and trying to use a system how it's designed to be used in the first place by balancing the books, because obviously it disrupted the energy on the planet. So if everyone is properly registered to their countries, then all the stolen wealth can be returned to all the countries that has been deceived and defrauded as well. So here in America, how would it be fair that these quote-unquote citizens can receive the wealth that was stolen from America when they was the ones that helped do it knowingly or unknowingly? This is why the immigration situation is so serious. A lot of these people do not realize the damage they are causing to America, and they really think they're gonna get benefits from doing it, even though they have this whole time, but also it's being reversed back to how it should have been the whole time. All in order to balance the energy so we can ascend, while all the low vibrating entities and the sleeping people descend. As we all can see, they're failing to recognize evil. Therefore, that means they are evil because they don't know right from wrong, which is a lot of citizens that skipped the immigration process and they became radicalized by working for a systematically oppressive system, coercion, fraud, unfair treatment, and the G side of all the indigenous people of America. This is why Trump always mentioned everything has to be merit-based now, as in on your real skills, because everything was DEI. It was designed to not let us in and to keep us down, and so they could gaslight us on everything that's being done. Like, for instance, saving money, generational wealth, so on and so forth. But if we're all not collectively not making an amount of money till we can save money, how can you make more money when you can't save money? Because now it becomes more expensive because bills got overdraft fees, they got late fees. You got to buy the minimum amount of things instead of buying everything in bulk, which saves you money. And the same, like if you think about the stock market, you can't make much money if you don't have much money to put in because everything's interest based. So if you got $100,000 to play with, you can make mad money and have an infinite money glitch versus somebody that only got $200-300 to play with. That's the same thing with everything, and it's designed this way through the citizenship. That is how they was able to keep all the wealth, the quote-unquote money, away from us, and they could do whatever they want. And like I say, gaslight us, make it seem like we're not doing what we need to do to get in the positions that they are in when they was given that position. Because like I said, we own all the credit, so how is it possible that anyone else can be above us here on our own land? Shit crazy. But anyways, I hope y'all picked up what I put down. Y'all know how I keep it. Y'all be guys. Hey.
This was a big decision, an amazing decision, one that we're very happy about. This morning, the Supreme Court has delivered a monumental victory for the Constitution, the separation of powers, and the rule of law in striking down the excessive use of nationwide injunctions to interfere with the normal functioning of the executive branch. The Supreme Court has stopped the presidency itself. That's what they've done. And really, it's been...
So does that mean we don't have a president realistically if the Supreme Court has stopped presidency? I'm just asking the question for a friend.
It's been an amazing period of time this last hour. There are people elated all over the country. I've seen such happiness and spirit. Sometimes you don't see that, but this case is very important. I was elected on a historic mandate, but in recent months we've seen a handful of radical left judges effectively try to overrule the rightful powers of the president to stop the American people from getting the policies that they voted for in record numbers. It was a grave threat to democracy, frankly, and instead of merely ruling on the immediate cases before them, these judges have attempted to dictate the law for the entire nation. In practice, this meant that if any one of the nearly 700 federal judges disagreed with the policy of a duly elected president of the United States, he or she could block that policy from going into effect or at least delay it for many years, tie it up in the court system. This was a colossal abuse of power which never occurred in American history prior to recent decades, and we've been hit with more nationwide injunctions than were issued in the entire 20th century together. Think of it, more than the entire 20th century, me. I'm grateful to the Supreme Court for stepping in and solving this very, very big and complex problem, and they've made it very simple. I want to thank Justice Barrett, who wrote the opinion brilliantly, as well as Chief Justice Roberts, and Justices Alito, Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Thomas. Great people. Thanks for this decision, and thanks to this decision, we can now promptly file to proceed with numerous policies that have been wrongly enjoined on a nationwide basis. And some of the cases we're talking about would be ending birthright citizenship, which now comes to the fore. That was meant for the babies of slaves. It wasn't meant for people trying to scam the system and come into the country on a vacation. This was, in fact, it was the same date, the exact same date, the end of the Civil War. It was meant for the babies of slaves, and it's so clean and so obvious. But this lets us go there and finally win that case, because hundreds of thousands of people are pouring into our country under birthright citizenship, and it wasn't meant for that reason. So thanks to this decision, we can now promptly file to proceed with these numerous policies and those that have been wrongly enjoined on a nationwide basis, including birthright citizenship, ending sanctuary city funding, suspending refugee resettlement, freezing unnecessary funding, stopping federal taxpayers from paying for transgender surgeries, and numerous other priorities of the American people. This is a decision that covers a tremendous amount of territory. But I want to just thank again the Supreme Court for this ruling. It's a giant. It's a giant. And they should be very proud.
Ayo, deadass? The government trying to tell us that light blast was from a nuke? Word to everything I love. Y'all really think we dumb like that?
Yo, what the?
Oh! Bro. Yo, check this out. Whoa! Whoa! What the? On phone them, they trying to tell us that little sunblast was from a nuke? Boy, if you don't get your lying ass out of here. Yo, check this out. Ain't that scene salt? Oh, you think you're tough? Watch this.
I think it'd be just like that. I ain't gonna lie. Like, yo, look, boy, like, you can't do this. Like, I can just imagine. Especially in New York, I can imagine.
Right? It's all to affect your mood to keep you.
This was at the Quantum Fest. Check it out.
In a low frequency, as I expressed. And now we're going to talk about the hood and the suburbs, the urban, all right? The hood actually looks like it does by design. It's done like that by design. In fact, it's purposely created that way to keep your melanin from activating, all right? The poor lighting, liquor stores and churches on every corner, potholes and broken glass on the infrastructure. What if I told you that the whole idea of the urban community, the hood, the ghetto, was all one big social experiment? And this is where the term projects actually came from, all right? The term projects was a project that was done in 1937 during World War II, all right? Now, what they did, this was a social experiment to actually analyze how people act with melanin. Again, we talk about chemistry. Keep this in your mind. It's a study of black. So what these people do is they say, how can we're going to study this chemistry. We're going to really see how they act. So light reflecting off concrete lowers your melanin. Melanin needs a lot of bright colors in order to thrive. So when you're around all the poor colors and the concrete, that's purposely done to put you in a state of depression. You see your environment, and at that point, because you're an electromagnetic tuning fork to the cosmos, you absorb that through your visual and outwardly reflect more of that. All right? So this, the hood was purposely orchestrated. You were purposely placed in that environment for a reason. All right? Appreciate you. Now, it's important to know that your 666 carbon is actually converting to a crystalline structure, all right? So when we talk about melanin, the base element for melanin is carbon, all right? And it's important to know that the base element for a diamond is also carbon, okay? It's also carbon, all right? The base element for graphene is also carbon, all right? So when I say your 666 carbon is converting to a crystalline structure, this implies that your melanin has the ability of adapting to its conditions, all right? Your melanin can resist up to 1,226 degrees Fahrenheit, all right? And the deletes that run this matrix know it.
Let's hear that again, because I don't think people get it. People be complaining about 80, 90, 100 degree weather. You heard that, what he said?
Of adapting to its conditions, all right? Your melanin can resist up to 1,226 degrees Fahrenheit, all right? And the deletes that run this matrix know it. This is why they utilize things like aluminum, lead, cadmium, and mercury to pretty much desecrate your melanin, to pretty much lower its abilities to copolymerize and adapt. Your melanin is very flexible, the most versatile, in fact, in the cosmos. As the solar flares continue to ramp up, one of the things that you're going to want to implement is chlorophyll, okay? Chlorophyll contains magnesium, and it's the substance responsible for giving plants its green pigment, all right? So chlorophyll is definitely something that I highly recommend incorporating. I do have the chlorophyll available on Holistic Remedies, link in bio. Black maca root is another herb that's phenomenal for amplification of the melanin because it works by strengthening the endocrine system, all right? It's good for the hypothalamus, the pituitary gland, as well as the pineal gland, which are consistently under attack by endocrine disruptors like atrazine, glyphosate, and paraquat, all right? Typically by companies like Sinochem, all right, which are owned by China, all right? John Krantz is the one who created glyphosate, all right? These are very toxic biological chemicals that are pretty much direct attacks on your melanin.
The deletes that run this matrix, aka the cabal, the shadow government, actually fear your ascension process. They're very fearful of what you're going to become, all right? This is why they utilize artificial sun simulators as well as blanket the sky with chemtrails, all right? One of the primary ingredients in the chemtrails is aluminum, all right? And the aluminum is utilized to refract the sun the opposite way. All right. Every 8 minutes that you sit in the sun, you receive cosmic light codes. All right. Which is transforming you and upgrading you on a celestial level. That so-called junk DNA is actually ancient extraterrestrial DNA that when you have access to, they know it's going to reawaken dormant abilities. All right. Things like flight. Things like time travel, things like telekinesis, all is in your epigenetic storage. Our ancestors had all these capabilities. Remember ascended masters and people like Simeon Toko that actually displayed these powers, all right? He liberated the Congo from the Portuguese, all right? And at the time, the cabal made several attempts to unalive Simeon Toko, all right? He literally had the ability of freezing a plane mid-flight, all right, by tapping into the electromagnetic grid. Simeon Toko had things like reanimation, regeneration, regenerating.
And y'all see planes been dropping. But I digress.
His body after being cut up in several pieces, all right? And when they tried to unalive Simeon Toko, remember he told them many more will return just like me, all right? And this is the timeline that they feared the most. We are those people that Simeon Toko was referring to, all right? That will return, all right? This is us. This is what the sun is actually transforming us to. I told you that diseases like cancer is man-made, okay? And that you can utilize the herb black seed oil, aka Nigella sativa, to combat any type of cancer, from carcinoma, sarcoma, melanoma to leukemia, all right? I made you aware of herbs like soursop, aka Gravolia, which is said to be 10,000 times more effective than chemotherapy, right? I made you aware of herbs like dandelion root, which is said to be 100 times more effective than any big pharmaceutical drug that the Cancer Institute has to offer. I made you aware of herbs like berberine, which is said to be a lot more effective than things like metformin, which is killing people, okay? And that berberine will naturally lower your blood sugar levels. I made you aware that they purposely got you addicted to soul food to give you things like diabetes and high blood pressure, okay? Soul food was actually made to attack your soul, all right? Not to reinvigorate your soul. It's time to wake up. I made you aware that most of the meat that's being sold nowadays is human meat, all right? Believe it or not, all right? And that some of the meat is artificial cloned meat through stem cells. Right. During this age of awakening, it's time we decalcify as well as activate the pineal gland. I made you aware of herbs like lion's mane mushroom, aka Hericium erinaceus, which is said to be the organic limitless pill and will substantially amplify your intelligence. It's great for cognitive function and awareness and regeneration of damaged neurons. Ayurvedic herbs like Haritaki is great for decalcifying as well as activating the pineal gland, all right? The deity Buddha is actually holding Haritaki, all right? This is a herb that I highly recommend, and one of the herbs that actually set me on my course for astral projection. Once you begin consuming Haritaki, one of the first things you're going to notice is that you're going to begin to see people's auras, all right? Everyone has a biofield. And then once you begin to utilize certain Ayurvedic herbs or decalcifying your pineal gland, whether it's with ginkgo biloba, which is also great for decalcifying the pineal gland, lion's mane mushroom, things like ormus, which is an orbitally rearranging monatomic element that also works great for decalcifying the pineal gland. Once you begin to decalcify that pineal gland and remove the fluoride and things of that nature off of it, one of the things you're going to begin to notice is auras emanating off of people, all right? And these same auras is what extraterrestrial biological entities that watch this planet see, all right? They don't see your color. They don't watch the color of your skin. They see the aura that your heart chakra is emanating, all right? This is why it's important that as of now, we amplify and raise our frequency.
A Supreme Court ruled that the nationwide injunctions on birthright citizenship is illegal. Just like I said it was. And I already basically explained to y'all that what they've been doing with birthright citizenship is having people from different nations, countries, whatever you want to call it, coming here to America, right? Then they have a kid here, then all of a sudden that kid is considered American, and they get all the benefits over the real American people who are the quote-unquote black Americans. Not only that, they're taking positions of power, such as politicians, you know, the senators and the mayors, the judges, so on and so forth. They're not even supposed to have that because they're technically not from this land. So when you have people from other lands ruling another land, What you think they're really doing? They're destroying the land that they own and taking all the resources and taking it back to their homelands. That's exactly why the GOV is like it is now, before Trump got back in office, draining the swamp. That's how our enemies are literally running the country. We have people that don't like us running the country that we own. And they're doing all this by fraud and all these psyops that I keep telling everybody about the truth. So check it. Trump just made this post not too long ago. Giant win in the United States Supreme Court. Even the birthright citizenship hoax has been indirectly and hit hard. Think about why he said hoax. That's why I keep saying it's a psyop to make it seem like one thing when really it's another. And also he adds it had to do with the babies of slaves the same year, not the scamming of our immigration process. Like I said, they've been skipping this whole process by using quote unquote birthright citizenship. But the thing is, a lot of people that got the birthright citizenship for being born here, if this is reversed, this means the ones that was born here that didn't have citizen parents isn't even a citizen anymore. And as I mentioned, a lot of people in the positions of power, which is who we call the quote-unquote elites, they are literally not even citizens. Their parents was never a citizen. They skipped the immigration process and just had a baby here. Then trained their baby up how to use universal laws against the people of the land. That's how they defrauded and stole everything that we already had. But everything is still connected to our QV trust, and they can't hide that, and everything has to be returned to the owner of that trust. As in, the original Americans who are not citizens because we've left out this whole process, but most don't even know that. And like I always say, I got proof that I'm not even a citizen, but I get violated every time I show proof or any kind of paperwork to prove what I'm saying. So all our birthrights and inheritance should be returned. And also, I'm not sure y'all heard about a new inheritance law that's coming into play. And they're doing that because how would it be fair if there's people that have been inheriting things that have been stolen the whole time? Not only that they've been inheriting stolen property and land, they haven't been paying the taxes that they should have been paying because they're not even from this land. And when you come over to this land from another country, you're automatically a quote-unquote immigrant trying to be a citizen. And y'all are the ones that's supposed to pay the taxes, not the people of the land. But the twist of that is that a lot of these people have been getting them high-paying jobs through all that DEI money, which is for everyone from every country besides the original American. And all that extra funding they've been getting through all these other programs through the DEI that help support businesses that we all see don't make any kind of profit at all, but yet it's still running. Because a lot of this stuff was just a front, just to make people that look like me work non-stop our whole lives while everyone sits back and relax. Because they're literally not from this land. We are, and we're basically being slaves while they just sit there and be the slave owner chilling at the crib, making 5, 10, 20 times more than the people that's working for them when they're not lifting a finger. And I don't want to hear none of that stuff. Oh, we gotta do this paperwork, all this and this and that. Nigga, AI could have been doing that before we were born. Just like when the pandemic started and we seen everybody get sent home, every job that got sent home and can work at home is completely fake. It's a front, and they've been using the government money to fund everybody else while they skim off the top. Once y'all get to see what the system really is like, it's gonna make you angry. It's gonna make everything else make sense. But of course, a lot of people know they're on the bad side of it, so they're gonna try to gaslight you. And these are the ones that's over here saying Trump is doing this for white supremacy. It's literally freeing the quote-unquote black people. Shit crazy. But anyways, quick rant. Hope y'all picked up what I put down. Y'all know how I keep it. Y'all be gods. Peace.
The original law enforcement, the original police officers, the original sheriffs, right, was the indigenous American man, right? It was y'all, our men. So y'all would enforce that they followed the spiritual laws, which is the treaties. The treaties are the spiritual laws. So what they're doing right now is treason. They literally are not abiding by the laws they gave us. They gave us these laws, said we want to do business with y'all on y'all land, right? Gave us these treaties and went against every treaty. According to their treaties, American Indian, indigenous people, we have the right to travel with no license, no license plates. We have the travel to do whatever we want without no license. That includes a hair license, doctors, like all the degrees and certificates. Y'all stuck in the simulations like that doesn't apply for the indigenous beings. That applies to foreigners. We're not foreign, but if you keep claiming you're African American and you don't check off American Indian, baby, you are a foreigner. Right? Whenever they ask me, what are you? I'm American Indian. Their CPS has no jurisdiction over our children, right? There's a lot of different things. That's why you have to go on archives.gov and you have to read all the treaties. Read them. They're free for the public. It's on a government website because the government is supposed to be applying and listening to these laws, but they don't, because the law enforcement have been taken over by the enemy. The most of the people who are working as police officers, judges, all that, even when they look black, they're Africans, right? They're either Africans or they're Caucasians. They're not us, right? It's not the indigenous American man and woman who are working for these police officers, working and they're supposed to be applying the treaties, but they don't. So they are out here treating the American Indians as U.S. citizens. They're out here treating us as foreigners when we are sovereign to here. You're sovereign to America and to whatever state you were born in, right? But yet they're still treating us like them, like we're not from here. Y'all have to know, when you travel to another country, there's laws that apply to foreigners that don't apply to the people who are indigenous from that land. The same thing goes for here. We have treaties that protect us that the police are not supposed to be able to fuck with us at all. Like, everything is supposed to be handled within our own community, within our own tribes. So we would continue to suffer unless you figure out who you truly are and make them apply these treaties. That's how they got our land. That's how we are still working and paying taxes to the Vatican in Europe. Right? Because they are not following the treaties that they created. We have to make them follow these treaties. We have to read the treaties. We have to study. Know who you truly are. Self-love is the best love. Once you know who you truly are, there's nothing they can do to fuck with you. Nothing they can do to harm you. Why do good people, right? People with good hearts attract negative energy, disrespectful motherfuckers? Just the worst person that you can That's who you attracted. Yes, you, empath, chosen one. Why do we always attract so much negative energy? Because people can see your light. You can't see their darkness, but they can sure see your light, right? So when people are really fucked up, whether they realize it or not, they come to us to heal them. Like, we just need your healing. We need your love. We need your strength. We need your power, right? And that's why it's just saying, like, you only get the true love you need, the true love that's for you when you really need it, not when you really want it. So a lot of us just attract energy vampires, or maybe we just attract people who are super fucked up, have super fucked up lives, a lot of trauma. It's a very traumatic life and need a lot of healing. So a lot of us end up being in relationships with these people, marrying these people, having families with them because we're healers. It's like almost our job, like our spiritual job, fuck a physical job, right? In our heart, in our mind, body, and soul, we know we came here to help heal the planet. So we may take that egotistically, whether you realize it or not, and feel like we're here to help this one individual. But this is when self-love plays a role, because once you really love yourself, you will be like, this person is not going to help me grow. This person is actually going to keep me dormant, keep me stuck, and stop me from evolving and going to the places I need to go, right? Because we're not on the same frequency level. Hence, I can only pour in their cup. They can't pour into mine. So in the end, I'm going to be drained. And this is why chosen ones, most of the time, we have a horrible baby mama, a horrible baby daddy, a horrible ex-husband, ex-wife. You know, I've been married before. So it's like, we attract people who need a lot of healing, and we're healers, we're lovers. So we automatically are kind of attracted to people who need the healings. But once you really love yourself, you understand the only way you can heal the omniverse, heal the world, heal the earth is through you. Yeah. So I could only heal everybody as I heal myself, right? Yes. So because it's a collective, like even helping somebody is an illusion. We're all connected. So if I'm helping myself, I'm helping you. Right. So we have to just come to terms. Nobody gives us a course on self-love, but that's the most important love there is in the world. You hear all the time, oh, you can't love nobody if you don't love yourself. Okay, but nobody's teaching you how to love yourself. Loving yourself is having good discernment. Loving yourself is having correct judgment. Loving yourself is taking those red flags for what it is and dipping. Loving yourself is only dealing with someone who can pour into your cup just as much as you can pour into theirs, so it can be an exchange. It won't be a drain. Self-love is the most important love, and you have to tap within yourself to really know and truly love and value yourself. That's why I encourage meditation. Trump, where that Epstein list at? Yeah, Trump, you said you was gonna release the Epstein list. Where is it at? See, a lot of y'all, oh, Trump this, Trump that. Don't y'all know Trump, Kamala, Biden, all them, Obama, they all work for the same motherfuckers. They all fucking puppets. Wake up, sheeple. None of these people are here to help us evolve. If that was the case, he would have released that Epstein list. Why is he not releasing it? Because, bitch, we know you own it. Right? And y'all don't even know Trump literally just banned multiple places that Americans can't go, like Venezuela, like Cuba, like Hawaii, right? And Hawaii was literally one of the states in America. What else has Trump done recently? He has banned names, so now you can't name your kids King, Queen, Messiah. He's like literally doing shit that doesn't need. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck who people name their kids? Why can't we go to Hawaii no more? Oh, because that's gonna be the new Epstein Island, huh? Oh, Trump, because you in on it, huh? Because y'all all the fucking same. Where that Epstein list at? Because all y'all favorite celebrities on it. Y'all don't want to, oh, my favorite celebrity is fucking kids. Yeah, your favorite celebrity did rituals, was on the Epstein Island or Bahamian Grove. Fucking kids. Yeah. Doing rituals with kids. Yeah, you don't want to listen to the truth, because then you know you're going to be held accountable by the ancestors and you're going to get fucked up.
It's entertainment purposes only, YouTube. Don't start your nonsense. Speculation.
For praising these same, having idols and praising these same celebrities who fuck children, who do sick satanic rituals on children, who are on the Epstein list. Trump hasn't released the Epstein list because he's on it. I know who you are, Trump. Trump, you haven't fooled me. You ain't fooled me. You might fool a lot of these get out niggas, right? But you ain't fooled me. None of these fake ass politicians have fooled me. They're not giving us real news. They're giving us fake news. Trump is a fucking fraud, just like everybody else. Yep, and I'm saying this because tomorrow is his birthday. Fuck you, Trump, too. Right? Because you ain't gave us our land back. You haven't said the black American people are the true indigenous people. You haven't been kicking out. Y'all just focus on kicking out Mongolians. What about y'all? What about these YTs, these white people, too? Caucasians that don't have no American indigenous bloodline, who are not from here. Why are we only, let's focus on getting everybody actually who's not American from out of America. If you can't go back to the 1800s and your family was indigenous to America, you need to get the fuck out of here. Most of y'all can't do that. Most people can't do that. Right? Let's get down to it. And if you really came from Africa, go back to Africa. You're African, go back to Africa. Nobody gives a fuck. Quit being in America, talking shit about America. Y'all have all this shit to say about America, but y'all not here to help the frequency rise. Y'all not here to help the planet grow. Right? Americans, we go through the most shit and we still have the highest level of consciousness rise because we are the true chosen ones. It's a small select few. Trump is not on our side. He's not our friend. Wake up. None of these politicians are here to help us. They're not the true politicians. Us as the chosen ones, we're the true politicians. They took all our shit and inverted it because they're pedophiles. They're sick. There's something wrong with all these.
Can we talk about how it's not 2025? It's completely made up. It's not 2025. The Gregorian calendar, which is the calendar that we use and go by, was man-made a few hundred years ago. It was a whole different system just a few hundred years ago. I don't think y'all understand. Just a few hundred years ago was not even a long amount of time. That was just a few generations ago. It's technically not 2025. And if they change the calendar once, you think they won't change it again? They literally change it every year if you're looking. And when they changed it, that's when they created the leap year stuff to try to keep it back on track. That's why I don't go by it. So when y'all talk down on astrology and astronomy, that's the only way you know what freaking time and day it is. That's the only way you know it's morning, and that's the only way you know it's night. But y'all just have so much to say about astrology and astronomy. It blows my mind. That's the only way you can tell which direction to go in. That's the only way you can tell when it's day and night. That's the only way you can tell when technically it's your birthday. That's the only way you can tell a lot of things. God, use y'all common sense.
God, they show me real. Check this out.
And look what's waiting in the sky for them. It is a UFO, a UAP, whatever you want to call it, and it disarms both of the rockets, and it takes off.
I told y'all it's a huge war going on right over our head, okay? They typically utilize things like chemtrails to block out the ionosphere so we don't have the ability of seeing. Not only that, they utilize computer-generated imagery as well. The sky isn't what you think it is, and they're hiding the cosmic wars that are taking place. When the Bible make mention of wars taking place in the heavens, they're actually referring to these cosmic wars with these extraterrestrial beings, all right? It's the same thing with the Mahabharata. The Mahabharata made mention of wars in the heavens, and they were also referring to these beings. These beings actually never stopped going to war, all right? And here's the kicker. A lot of them are very interested in our ascension process, and a lot of them are our cosmic kin. And when they actually check in on the planet, every once in a while, the government or the military will attempt feeble attempts to try to shoot down their ships or whatever the case may have you. And you see how they make light work of their technology. These beings are hundreds of thousands, if not millions years ahead of us technologically.
What people mean when they be like Christ is king or whatever. It's not a Messiah above the clouds in the sky. It's your nature. Right? Revering from that tree of death, your deathly ways, the flesh want to kill you, to gaining life, ascending. You feel me? Tree of life. Everybody is on a different journey. They battling something. Alcohol, sex, porn, they spending habits, gambling and all. Everybody fighting something. Greed for it. Everybody fighting something. But it's about during this fight, which side you picking? Are you going to kill? Are you going to rape? Are you going, because we not perfect. But what's your nature? So it's not about a skin color. It's about your nature. What resides in you. Do you have morality? And when you're on your journey of ascension, you gain these attributes. You become something different from what you was. You gain morality. You start questioning yourself. What is morality? What is life? What is like your consciousness, the wheel of your consciousness starts spinning. That's when you become in the kingdom of light. When you become not just a mammal, your fleshly nature, but you become a divine being. Right? You was offered the opportunity to become a divine being, the Elohim. It's not about, yo, which level you on? Because when we all become Elohims, now everybody want to debate, I'm more spiritual than you. I'm more righteous than you. I'm more, when the fuck we start doing that? Everybody in the same family. So even in light, you got conflicts. That's what the problem always been. Even if you are the kingdom of light, you still got conflict. Why? People like, yo, the Messiah coming back. The Messiah is what's in you. The kingdom is already in you. It's nobody coming back. Everything is in the now. Everything is in your soul. So you like, yo, when the kingdom, it been here, it's here now. It's up to what's your nature. You have to decide what the fuck is my nature. And how do I and when do I transmute my nature? Because the kingdom always been here right now as I'm speaking to you. It's never no fucking, well, it is a place in the heavens and all this other type of shit and other star systems, but it's right now. You could tap into all of that right now. So everybody like, yo, I'm waiting for the Messiah to come. It's in you. It's here now. Fuck is you waiting for?
Ça tombe bien, je suis chrétienne. Ah ouais? Bah ouais.
Okay, so council. Over there in France, at this music festival, 145 people got stuck with hypodermic needles with an unknown substance in it. Most of the people were white women, they say, who were dressed inappropriately. And those Muslims, I guess, weren't having it. The whole Sharia law business that's taking over the whole of UK and everywhere else. But I thought you guys might find this interesting because I've been talking about this for a while now. Stay out of the crowds. This is how they're getting back at the so-called colonialists. The war is covert. It's not in your face. They're doing things exactly like this. You see that hypodermic piercing on this person's arm? That's exactly what happened. All of them went home with these injections. Who is to say what was in that liquid and what it's going to actually do? I doubt you're going to even hear about it. A bunch of people are just going to be in the hospital in the next few weeks, or maybe a plague in the next few weeks. You don't know. We don't know. But the point I'm making again, avoid these crowds. It's not for us, council. Separate yourself and spiral up. Let's go. Bang, bang. Yeah. You see what I'm telling you, council? How do you fight an enemy that's attacking you like that? There's no guns involved. This is straight up sneaky, you get me? Stay away from those crowds. Use your discernment and let's spiral.
Again,
like
man.
separate yourself and spiral up. Let's go.
Man.
Bang, bang. Yeah. You see what I'm telling you, council? How do you fight an enemy that's attacking you like that? There's no guns involved. This is straight up sneaky, you get me? Stay away from those crowds. Use your discernment and let's spiral. Hey yo, peace fam. So Scott, Orion TV. Bang, bang, bang. More life family. Bliss up, abundance, and I don't know. Already. Yeah, so council, we find ourselves in the big shift, right? The big wave. And in this shift, it's the ultimate. Nothing like this has ever happened before because we're dealing with a time of conversions and diversions all at the same time. While things are coming together, things are falling away. So what I mean to say is this: you and I are coming together in the singularity. All our missing pieces are being put back together and we're being made whole. But the divergence, the ones who are diverging, the ones who are going down in the mitosis, they are falling away. And the little bit of sense that they did have, they're completely losing now in the new frequency range because their temples cannot process the new code coming through the conduit. They have been made over in the image of the world, in the image of the fallen. The fallen lack the proper elements to make the algorithm run in order to be a receiver and transmitter of source code. So anyone on their pattern, on their frequency, is locked off from this new wave you see coming through. So in the mitosis or the split, like when cells split, mitosis, just like the earth is doing, higher earth, lower earth. When a cell splits, the old cell dies, the new cell goes on to form whatever it was designed to form, whether it was skin, hair, or anything of that nature. It goes on to blossom and bloom and become exactly what it was meant to be in the pattern. The rest of the dross gets filtered through the body and recycled. So a lot of these entities and people in this reality are for the recycler in the mitosis. They did not make it, like I said. They corrupted their temples, rewrote their own DNA/DEA to a code of Pfizer, Bayer, or some other fallen entity of this world. They are now property of these entities. You and I, we're God's property. We're separated, so we have to move accordingly. So again, in the mitosis, there's a divergence going on and a convergence. We're diverting away from Babylon. They're falling away, but we're converging and coming together as one, you and I, creating this dark crystal energy that's going to power the new earth. This is the crystal grid. You are bringing through the spark that's going to reignite it. And this wave that we're now currently riding, Council, is going to wash away Babylon and all its infrastructure off the face of the earth. If you don't want to be removed, then you cannot be an enemy of nature or enemy of earth, because then the body of God is going to take you for a virus and remove you like the rest of the viruses. This is a healing time, an age of purging, the new earth golden age, and we're in that range. So right now we're in a time of cleansing and purification. The veil is being lifted, we're all being elevated, and right about now we're about to levitate. So we're dropping all the dead weight. Don't be anchored to this 3D through your mind.
There's video evidence of extraterrestrial biological entities flying their ships in and out of the sun. And this is how they charge their ships. They actually utilize plasma energy. And this is something I actually witnessed while sun gazing. Once you develop the ability to withstand the luminosity, once in a while you will see these ships, shams, UFOs, or UAPs, whatever you want to call them, literally flying in and out of the sun. It's getting real.
It's undeniable. It's been coming out for 3-4 months now. Ships coming out of the sun. They kind of remind me of cubes, black cubes. You want to think of Borg? Go ahead and think of Borg. Borgs have cube ships. But there are tons of them. These big solar flares, look at that. It's like a battalion. It's even more than a battalion. When these ships come out, they can number around 80-something.
I've seen them myself.
They can. And they come out every single hole at one point or another. And these are only the timestamps that we're able to see. They're constantly coming out. If they're coming out of the sun, where do you think they're going? They're going to Earth. That's where they're going. Straight to Earth.
The sun is a huge portal.
It's rather exciting, if you want to know the truth. Extremely exciting. Looking at these They have the ability to connect themselves.
And these neutrinos are constantly passing through our body at light speed. Pretty soon we will see the aurora borealis all over the planet, all right, which is green Ethereum cosmic energy, all right. And something's very interesting about this energy is when it actually interacts with your melanin, it actually amplifies you from a semiconductor to a superconductor, giving you access to so-called junk DNA, okay. This is one of the reasons why these extraterrestrials are very interested in this planet. They know we're going through what's called an ascension process currently. This ascension and activation process is attributed to us entering solar cycle 25. All right, the sun is rapidly amplifying and we're no longer in a Piscean age. We're actually moving to what's called the age of Aquarius. This is the age of infinite information and new scientific scholarship pouring in. I highly recommend cleansing yourself and utilizing things like chlorophyll to detoxify the body of toxic metals like lead, cadmium, mercury, and aluminum that make it difficult to integrate with the sun. Chlorophyll is the substance responsible for giving plants its green pigment, okay? I do have the liquid chlorophyll available on Holistic Remedies, link in bio. I also highly recommend utilization of a parasite cleanse. The ingredients wormwood, black walnut, and whole cloves not only kill parasites but also eradicate their eggs. Most people are completely unaware that heavy metals as well as parasitic invaders are the leading cause for NPCs, aka non-playable characters in the Matrix. The heavy metals and the parasites are actually utilized for mind control and manipulation. The way they do it is they pass deceptive messages and transmissions through the heavy metals by way of 5G, 6G, and 7G. Sometimes you will receive a thought in your mind and not know where it came from. That's via the transmissions that you can't hear that the toxic metals are picking up. Then they also have the ability of actually utilizing the parasitic invaders to send certain messages via a process called toxoplasma gondii, because you have neurons in your stomach as well. All right. And they travel from your colon to your stomach, to your heart, to your brain through a process called cysticercosis. They do this to keep you from accessing your Akashic records as well as receiving downloads or transmissions from your celestial ancestors. See, the fact of the matter is, a lot of you come from different star systems and don't know it, okay? There's 144,000 different alien genes that are not from this planet, okay? A lot of you come from different eugenics testing facilities, different eugenics programs, different star systems, okay? Believe it or not, all right? Contrary to what you believe, all right? This is why there's so many different blood types on this planet. This whole planet was a huge testing facility, all right? Now, here's the thing. Some of your celestial star family has try multiple times to communicate with you. All right, they utilize things like chemtrails to block out the ionosphere to prevent transmissions from coming in. Sometimes when you hear that ringing in your ear, it could be one of your star family trying to communicate with you. All right, sometimes it's things like deceptive radiation. Sometimes it's things like tinnitus as well. But oftentimes these entities are trying to communicate with you. This is why I stress the importance of things like decalcifying the pineal gland, utilization of things like lion's mane mushroom, haritaki, herbs like blue lotus, as well as mugwort leaf for astral projection, as well as lucid dreaming. Elixirs like Ormus, which is an orbitally rearranging monatomic element, is phenomenal for things like astral projection and combating the deceptive nanotechnology, all right, that's typically emitted from chemtrails and things like graphene oxide. Neural Focus contains DMAE, which is dimethyl amino ethanol. It's phenomenal for astral projection as well as lucid dreaming. I have been taking it consistently, and lately I have been having multiple OBEs and outer body experiences, okay? And I have been also noticing a lot more downloads coming through. I do have the Neural Brain Focus available on Holistic Remedies, link in bio. Mugwort leaf as well as blue lotus flower are also two phenomenal herbs for astral projection as well as lucid dreaming, okay? Both are smokable and can be brewed into teas, all right? And I have tried both. I love both of them, all right? And I have phenomenal astral projection experiences as well as lucid dreams on both. I even have mixed both as well, okay? For those of you that actually have difficulty ascertaining these states of consciousness, all right, that want to experience other worlds, because, you know, first and foremost, I have experienced other worlds, been on different ships and all of that, by way of astral projection. You can go anywhere in the cosmos, all right? You aren't the body, you are energy and the habit in that vessel, all right? So it's important, first thing you have to do is eradicate fear, all right? And realize that things like astral projection as well as lucid dreaming aren't demonic, they aren't scary, they aren't what the people that pretty much been indoctrinated by religion has led you to believe, all right? These are things that our ancients have done on a consistent basis, all right? And this is the best way to access the Akashic records, which is the scholastic library of infinite data, all right? Again, I do have the mugwort leaf as well as the blue lotus flower available on Holistic Remedies, link in bio. Peace, love, and light to everyone.
Okay.
what we're seeing right now in real time.
The end? Oh, that's the end right there. Okay. Okay. Yo, Haven, you know what's up. It's the end of the presentation. It is my intention that all is well. You are in a wonderful, magnificent mood. If you wasn't already having a wonderful, magnificent rotation. If you're new to the channel, like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you're notified when we go up. Full disclaimer, this video is for entertainment purposes only. Any and everything you see on this channel is merely speculation. Due discretion is advised. Please do your own homework and research. That's homework and research for proper discernment. As you watch these clips and videos as a form of escaping external chaos going on outside of ourselves, we are all experiencing our own individual reality. That being said, if it doesn't resonate with you, leave it on the ground for someone else to pick it up. If it does not resonate with you, man, it's fine. That is okay. You choose to be here, you don't gotta be. Anyone and everyone who has ever sown a seed with me and will be returned 100-fold as the Most High, using you as a divine vessel to divinely support yours truly. Because it's all about divine support. I just want to say abundance, peace, and prosperity upon you and yours. Hope you know it never goes unnoticed. Praise God and thanks. Really does help the channel, the foundation, my well-being. If you'd like to do the same, the links are in the description or the about tab on the channel. No sweat, no pressure though. You know what's up. Once again, I don't celebrate holidays, so I will be doing a regular upload next rotation. If you are celebrating, do whatever you're doing responsibly. Take care of your family, things of that nature. I love y'all. I'm in love with y'all. Balance and harmony. Safe travel nationals. I'll see y'all next time, man. Protect your energy. Let's get this shit. Things are happening, man. See y'all next time, man. I'm out.